Welcome to Brave Healer Productions. It's time to experience what's possible. So, what if there's something you haven't learned yet that could change everything? Welcome, everyone. I'm Laura DeFranco, the CEO of Brave Healer Productions, where we are helping the world experience what's possible. And here today to help me with that mission is the lead author of one of our newest books. This is The Caregivers Advocate, Volume 2, a complete guide to support and resources. Debbie Compton, welcome back.
Thank you so much, Laura. We're so excited. I'm just thrilled to be here again for a volume 2.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you guys, we're going to talk all about it in a minute. Let me tell you about Debbie. Three-time caregiver, Debbie DeMoss Compton inspires with humor and hope. She's a certified caregiving consultant and advocate, plus Alzheimer's educator since 2017. She's a sought-after speaker and a best-selling author of the Caregivers Advocate Volume 1 already. Why Volume 2, Debbie?
Because caregiving is so detailed. There are so many nuances to it and so many variations that can be there. And I had people keep coming up to me and saying, "Well, why didn't you include this in your book?" And I'm like, "Because I only had 21 chapters." And why didn't you include the other? And there's just so much information that caregivers need. And that's where my heart is just to support caregivers because as you said, I went through it 3 times and that was the very hardest job that I never applied for. It was extremely difficult, and I know the challenges. I know the information is short to be found out there because I'm talking about actionable, useful information. You can find steps and stages of the disease all over the place, but that doesn't help you when your dad is seeing aliens and you want to know, how am I supposed to respond to this? So that's my whole mission, is to focus on bringing the things that will actually help you have a less stressful life. And so there's just so many topics. So volume 2 does not repeat volume 1. It's a whole new set of issues, a whole new set of ways to manage strategies and tools that caregivers really need.
Yeah, thank you for describing that and why our volume 1 and volume 2. Bringing these together as a set for your caregiver friends, you guys, is going to be a complete gift to them. And you can hear
Yes.
Debbie's why in her answer when she talks about this. The job you never signed up for, right?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit of that story of your why.
Well, I was traveling in business, loving life. I had my plan to retire with this company, and I'd been there 15 years. I was well on the way. But then dad developed Parkinson's and started needing more help. My mom already had vascular dementia, but she was very high functioning. So I felt like I had it under control. And the only reason I felt that way, Laura, is because I didn't know enough about the disease. Any form of dementia progressively gets worse. It's not a puzzle that you solve and then now we're fixed, we're good for the rest of the time. It continually gets worse and you continually need new solutions, new ways to handle it. And so it got to be too much. I was on one coast when dad accidentally took mom's pills and had to be rushed to the hospital. I live in Oklahoma, not by the coast. Although it's kind of funny because right now I am on the coast. This is not my normal background. I am at my sister's house in North Carolina. But, and the same thing happened with mom. She passed out at the Daily Living Center and had to be rushed to the hospital when I was out in North Carolina. So, it was too stressful. I couldn't keep all the balls in the air. I felt like I was failing. And so I made the decision to become a full-time caregiver and take care of my parents because I felt like, they gave everything for me, taking care of me and my sister and my brothers. And so I wanted to be the one to take care of them.
Well, and here we are, two book volumes later of your mission and purpose, helping the world, Debbie. Like, thank you for that.
Mm.
I'm grateful to you for the collaboration and bringing this so important work out into the world so that all of our caregivers are amazing caregivers. And whether it's your parent or somebody that isn't in your family that you're caring for. This book is full and full again in volume 2, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, proud to be representing it, and very, very grateful to you for your big life mission on the planet right now.
Thank
You
you.
know,
We appreciate you publishing it and being such a great support and helping us all the way through because there's just so many details to getting a book right. And I love the fact that you've got it down to a science. And so it's really helped us. And the one piece, if I could real quick, the one thing I forgot that I left out is that what caused me to form the Purple Vine was a little hospice nurse because I was taking care of my mother-in-law who was passing in my home. She had Alzheimer's. My folks were still alive. Well, my dad had passed, but my mom was still alive. And the little hospice nurse saw some of the things that we created to make life safer. And she said, "Where did you read about it?" And I was like, "I didn't read about it anywhere. We created it because nothing on the market worked for us." And she said the words that changed my life because she said, "Other caregivers could use this information. This would really help them." And I was totally blown away because I thought I was the only one who didn't have it figured out. I thought everybody else knew what they were doing. It's just me that's out here floundering. But then I realized that is my purpose. That's the reason I went through 3 times of caregiving is because it was different diseases, different situations, different living arrangements, and I dealt with them all. And so it has enabled me to be able to have empathy for people going through all these different situations, plus real world solutions that work.
yeah, which is so key. And this book as a resource is absolutely priceless. Like you're
Yes.
never going to find it all in one place like you do in these books. Okay, so there's a huge thank you that goes out to all of your co-author contributors, these amazing experts who are stepping up alongside you and sharing their beautiful, vulnerable stories, but also those magical tools. I know you also have a message for them today.
Oh, I am so grateful to them. They're fantastic because first off, many of them several of them have never written anything before. And they were afraid to do this. And they went ahead and were brave enough to step out there and share their words. And then there are others. We've got 3 doctors on staff too, but they hadn't written in this type of a way. And so it was great for all of us. I had one lady tell me that it was so therapeutic for her to be able to share the things that she learned. And that was the goal, was for everyone to share what you wish you would have known earlier on. And these authors knocked it out of the park. They are heartfelt. I mean, you'll laugh, you'll cry. It'll break your heart. It'll give you
Yeah.
hope, and always the feeling that you're not alone. And that's the message that every one of us wants to share with caregivers. And they so beautifully did that you're not alone. You're here for us. And I love the way that you put the book together because at the end of every chapter, you've got the author's bio and all their contact information so that people can reach out to them directly to get extra support or to connect with them. If someone's style really resonates with you, connect with them. And that's really what we want. And again, just thank you to all the authors for just I don't have words to describe. They blew my mind. It was so much better than what I had hoped for. So I am thrilled to have it out in the world. Very proud.
All right, you guys, let's give you a little sneak peek of this beautiful cover. And while you stare, and I am wearing purple in honor of this book today, I love to match my books, but
Thank
I'm
you.
going to read one of the back cover reviews as you guys look at this. As both a neurologist who provides care for persons diagnosed with dementia and a son who cared for 2 parents, I have become very familiar with available caregiver resources. In the Caregivers Advocate Volume 2, Debbie DeMoss Compton and her team of co authors have succeeded in creating one of the best caregiver guides currently available. You guys agreed wholeheartedly. And we're going to thank Dr. Daniel Potts for that beautiful back cover review that you guys will be able to read. Um, that's the magic in this book. It's pretty badass, Debbie.
Thank you. I agree completely. It's
Yeah,
fantastic. it is the support guide, the Bible that caregivers need.
yeah. So, okay, you know, the world of wellness and information like this can be overwhelming when we're searching out there searching for solutions. We're all so guilty of, googling the answers to things, all that stuff. But you really committed your life to understanding how to navigate the information. If someone's out there really struggling, like, how do you vet your resources? What's the advice you have for people looking for information?
You can't trust everything on the internet, which hopefully people know. And caregiving is difficult because it's not a one size fits all. I came from a background of training and development. And so when you did one, two, three, you got four. And I was very used to that. Well, I quickly discovered that caregiving is not that way. You do one, two, three, you might get four today, maybe, but you might get seven, 124, -2. I mean, it's all over the board. So what worked for example, for my mother-in-law, she was a big wanderer. What I did that worked for her in our situation might not work for you. So you need other plans. And that's why I try to share and you have different people, you have different relationships. And so you have to use different approaches. And that's why I do the one-on-one Zoom consultations with caregivers, because I first need to understand their relationship with this other person and what it's like, because that greatly affects what tools you're going to be able to use and be successful with. And then the disease that they have and the progress in the disease where they're at. There's a ton of factors that go into it to crafting a plan that's actually going to work for you. And that's why I was so excited to bring in these 22 authors from 4 different countries to pull them together to share their best tools on a specific topic. And it's not people writing about the same thing. These are all different topics. And it's all different pieces of information that caregivers need, and the author has shared from their heart, and you can read it. It comes out in the chapters, as Dr. Potts was sharing.
So you have a lot going on aside from this book. You mentioned the consults that you do. You do a lot. Tell us more about how people work with you and what's going on in your world.
A lot. I'm yeah, I'm like, "Oh, let's see." My favorite thing to do is doing speeches to educate people about steps and stages of dementia, about learning to tell the difference between Alzheimer's and normal aging. Because we tend to, especially if you've been around someone who has a form of dementia, when we forget where we put our cell phone down, we're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm getting dementia." You're not, you didn't pay attention. And so I love that because Rena Yudkowsky is one of the authors. She's a returning author from the first book, and she shares memory tips and ways to improve your memory included in this book because, as I said, that's a very big concern for caregivers if they're caring for someone who has dementia. And so, anyway, so I do speeches, a lot of different topics. I do workshops. I love doing those too. I'm highly interactive. So, even during a speech, I'm always fielding questions because I want people to have the information. That's the goal. And then I have a number of other books that I self published as well before I discovered you. And so those were created to meet a family need. And coloring books, which are fantastic because I use the coloring books to make a connection, to build a bridge between my grandchildren and my mom because they could color together and that gave them something to do. And it's also peaceful, calming, and relaxing. It's a great stress reducer. So I have a wide variety of coloring books that are available too. And then I've done some online training, going to be doing some more of that so that caregivers can, learn at their own pace so that they can, if it's 2 o'clock in the morning and they're wide awake and can't sleep and they want to learn something, then they can go online and do that. Um, Oh gosh, I know I'm forgetting something. I do tons of stuff. It's like whenever there's a need, then I try to meet that need. And so then I have my email list that I send out. I only send it once a week because caregivers do not have time to read an email every day. Just once a week and you're good. And in that on that email list, I tell them little tips and strategies, different things that they can do, ways they can take care of themselves, because that's something that we often forget as a caregiver. We are so focused on taking care of that loved one that we totally forget about ourselves sometimes. And that's a big mistake, because who's going to care for them when you're not there? So I focus on that as well. And in my book, in the Caregivers Advocate Volume 2, I talk about stress reduction techniques, because that's so very important. And that's something that I desperately needed, and I did not have the tools that I needed. And so I hit full blown caregiver burnout, which I didn't even know was a thing. And so I try to teach people ways to avoid that and ways to reduce that stress before you get to that boiling over or burning out point. So
Yeah.
the Purple Vine is my website, thepurplevine.com. And on there, you can find lots of resources, lots of tools. There's a blog, there's a way to join my email list. There's all kinds of information. I add things to it all the time. And then my email address is on there as well, because if you are looking for something or needing something, then I'd encourage people to just send me an email and tell me what it is you need, and I'll see if it's something that I'm able to do. And if I can't do it, I know a lot of people, so I probably know somebody who can help you.
Yes, perfect. You guys will find the purplevine.com link down below in the show notes so you can explore everything that Debbie is up to. All right, Debbie, just closing out today with a few words for our listeners. What's the most important thing you want to wrap up with today that you want them to know about caregiving?
It's not a solo journey. Don't try to do it alone. You need support. I have been there on the trying to do it alone thing, and it does not work well. For those people who are saying, but I don't have any help, my siblings won't help, I don't have any siblings, whatever the case may be, then you need to call me, email me, because I can help you find help. There are resources available, there are free resources available to you as well. And there are places that you just haven't looked, because when you're stressed, you tense, you limit the oxygen supply. You can't be creative when you're stressed out. So I'm not stressed out anymore. I laugh and have a good time. So
I love it.
so call me and I will help you find ways to get support, because you just should not do it alone. Too many repercussions that are not good.
You guys, this is way more than a book. You can hear it. This is a generous community starting with Debbie. So if you heard something today that's given you the goosebumps, maybe you've got a question, maybe you need support, just drop down into the show notes. Check out thepurplevine.com. Come get some help. Reach out to Debbie or any of the authors in the book. They're there to answer a question, give you the support, steer you on the right track of the resource that you need. It's really, really amazing and brilliant. Debbie Compton, thank you so much for what you do in the world and for being here today to share.
Thank you, Laura, for making it possible. We appreciate you.
So we hope you guys go over to Amazon and pick up your copy of the Caregivers Advocate Volume 2. Go for it. You're going to love this book. Lastly, today, everyone, remember your words change the world when you're brave enough to share them. So it is time to be brave. See you next time, everyone.